The mind gives you during the day so many different instructions, but not all these instructions are helpful.
But look at it in a way to where you can say, what's the lesson in this, right? What would you say life is trying to teach you from dealing with this?
You know, I don't want to follow someone's footsteps. I want to create footprints. And that's with everything I do.
To learn and not follow what the mind tells you. This is the first step towards freedom.
Today we have another amazing video, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who supported us at Mulliganbrothers.com, where you can now get the new Memento Mori poster, a poster to remind you that you are going to die and that we are mortal. Use code STOIC with the link down below for one of the best success tools that I have used over this last year. All the profits from the website go back into creating this content. But before that, let's dive into this amazing lesson.
You think that everything the mind tells you, I need to follow. That means freedom. No, for us it's the other way around. To learn and not follow what the mind tells you. This is the first step towards freedom. Because during the 24-hour day, your mind tells you so many different things. Your mind tells you, you should do this right now. You just had an argument with another person. The mind tells you, hey, don't take the words just like this. He just insulted me. I need to insult him back. Yeah, I need to show him who the boss is. Yeah, or anything like this. The mind gives you during the day so many different instructions. But not all these instructions are helpful. Because these are instructions which came from conditioning of the past. They come from how you were conditioned by your parents, conditioned by the teachers, conditioned by the government, conditioned by the politics, conditioned by the advertisement, conditioned by everything that nowadays has an impact on the way how we see the world.
For me, this is where people get it so wrong. We are all chasing an image. You know what I mean? I was chasing an image of a special forces soldier and how that would look, and I was forgetting the one fundamental thing that is so far more important than that, and that's a feeling. It should be the feeling you're chasing, not the image. You know, people want the perfect house, the perfect job, all this, that and the other, the perfect marriage, or whatever it is. But that's an image in your head. It doesn't mean that when you get there, you're going to feel that same passion for it. We all know, everyone knows that a lot of the time you have this visualization of how something might be, whether that's going out for the night, going to your favorite club or whatever, and it's always totally different when you get there. You know what I mean? So if you get too attached to the image of what you want, you're going to end up being disappointed when you get there. I've always wanted to create my own path, and it's something I still do to this day. Because we're so trained, you know, I don't want to follow someone's footsteps. I want to create footprints. You know what I mean? That's with everything I do. So, you know, it was about redefining myself, recreating something new.
Self-talk is one of those things that we hear about. How powerful is self-talk?
You can choose being negative or positive, but you can't choose what it does to your body. If you could look inside into the inflammation, the cortisol, the stress hormones you make when you say things like, my job is killing me, this commute is killing me, this paperwork is driving me crazy, I'm dying under my taxes, you would never, ever even say it again, because it has such a negative effect on you. And it's like saying, I'm terrified, I'm excited, this is killing me, it's challenging me. I got an awful memory, got a great memory. If I look at a cake, I get fat. I got a fantastic metabolic rate. You can choose which one to say. The thing about the mind is it doesn't know, and it certainly doesn't care if what you tell it is good or bad, true or false, right or wrong. So if you're going to say, if I look at a cake, I gain a pound, you might as well say, I've got a great metabolic rate, because whatever you tell your mind is probably going to become your reality.
For most people, when you go through something, the person's natural perspective is, okay, what did I lose, right? What happened to me? Like, I took a loss, right? People never look at it and say, okay, man, tell me, what did you gain, right? Even though I know it hurt, You didn't want to go through it. But look at it in a way to where you can say, what's the lesson in this, right? What would you say life is trying to teach you from dealing with this? And so when I went through it, my perspective was, okay, what can I extract from it to apply to other areas and aspects of my life that I feel can help other people? And I firmly believe the quicker you can shift your perspective from yourself to others when you're in the midst of adversity, the quicker you'll get through it, right? Martin Luther King has a quote that says, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing to help other people? Now, I'm not telling you to not acknowledge your pain. I'm not saying that. I'm not telling you not to say, man, I'm going through this and it's hard. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you go through it, look at it, step back from the picture and say, okay, I'm dealing with this. 9 out of 10 times, it's somebody else that's either dealt with it or they're gonna deal with something similar to this. And if I deal with it in the right way, I can use it to add value to lives of other people. The funny thing was, I had never heard of the injury that I suffered. Never heard of it. When I went through it, I met probably 10 guys years after that had been going through it, that I could talk to at different stages and phases in the process and say, hey man, Ink, how did you deal with this? How did you deal with this? When they told you this, how did you accept that, right? How did you process that? And I was like, bingo, this is how I got through it. This is how I dealt with it, right? But I had to shift my perspective from why me to why not me.
From a man who's been in some extreme situations and many would describe as scary situations, how would you tell a normal person to deal with fear? Like, I mean, the fear of failing as a businessman or whatever it is, what's your advice to those people?
Yeah, fear is fuel for me. I mean, if you embrace it, it keeps you safe and it allows you to perform more, right? Your performance will without a doubt increase in the safest manner if you embrace fear. Now, if you go the opposite direction and you let fear consume you, well then it's going to allow you to fail a lot easier at whatever it is you're trying to do, and it's going to potentially induce a panic, whatever it is that's going on in your life, and just exacerbate and make things worse for you. So my advice is you've got to basically harness that fear and use it as a tool and then just bust through whatever you face.
Understanding the 3 states of mind is critical because at any given point in time, you can understand which area of the mind you're functioning in. Not one is better than the other, they just have different attributes. So if you're in your conscious mind, you're very externalized. If you're in your subconscious, you're thinking about your past. Do you remember the time 5 years ago when we went on that holiday to Mallorca? How great was that? You know, you're functioning in the subconscious area of the mind. You're going to your memory bank. If you're doing something highly creative, creating music or art, or you have an intuitive flash insight into something, it's coming from the superconscious area of the mind.
Is there a reach to get to the superconscious? Should we be striving to get to that, or does it not really matter? It's just the definitions.
Depending again, what do you want in life, right? You know, and that's why for me, it's always important to define first the goal. What do you want in life, right? Once you know what you want in life, then you know what tools you want, which area of the mind you need to function in order to get there.
It's about opening the mind, opening the body, opening the senses, opening your awareness. Why? Because with awareness, everything starts. I need to be aware how many people are in this room. Then I can tell you how many people are in this room. I need to be aware he or she just said something. I think it was meant for me. You need to be aware of this. You need to be aware. All the time I was actually feeling quite comfortable and peace, but in the moment where he or she started to open his mouth, I felt I'm starting to move something inside of me. So it's awareness that opens possibilities up for you. It's the awareness to realize there's the chance right now, go for it. And this is why the beginning, this awareness is a very, very important aspect. And yes, Because like I said, sometimes you are finding yourself in the period where you receive a lot of chances, a lot of possibilities. Sometimes you're in the time slot, you're in the time frame, no possibilities there. Just waiting and be happy about what you have. But sometimes those periods come where the possibilities start to add up. And then I think it is important to realize and become aware of them. To be able and take that decision. Are you going to go for it or not? Yeah, but being asleep all the time is difficult. Yeah, and that is the reason you don't want to sleep right now. You want to be awake. You want to be awake and you want to be clear. Being awake and clear. Now your life is in your hands.
Nothing comes easy. You know, a lot of people say that there were so many obstacles in the path. The obstacles are the path. And it is always short term. You know, it's a case of just pushing through that short term discomfort. Embrace the discomfort, that's where you grow. Success is a series of failures. To achieve success in life, you must fail and keep on failing. And always, when you start always know that if you're failing throughout your life, as long as you're not repeating the same failures, that you're growing at the same time.
For most people, man, you could be great, but you haven't even pulled a strip off to activate it, right? Like you can be great, but you're living on reserve. Right? You didn't empty the bucket, right? You didn't give everything you had to every aspect of your life. Like for most people, they're great professionally, but they end up becoming a public success, and behind closed doors, they're a private failure. Not because they don't have the talent or the skill set, they don't have the character, right? That they can apply it and be consistent in every aspect of their life and empty out everything they got to everything, right? Now, one would say, okay, well, when do you tone it back, right? You find pockets to turn it back, right? Of course, you don't just give everything you got all the time, right? You get to a point to where you learn to be efficient and effective in every aspect of your life. And for most people, it's not a problem of skill set. It's a problem of character. And empty the bucket is having the right character to be consistent and empty out everything you got in every aspect of your life.
Sometimes it's always about modern technology, look into the future. Yes, of course, but there are some questions you don't need to reinvent the wheel again. They have been thousands and thousands of times already been discussed, thought about, and there's a whole bunch of knowledge behind it. And sometimes it makes sense, first of all, look what is already out there and existing before starting to add something which is just pretty pointless. And so on the one side, having access to knowledge, merging it together with the right mindset, how you personally look upon walking and spending this lifetime of yours. Those two things coming together, I think, carry a huge possibility that you can unleash something special about yourself. This is the main point to share. This is the reason why I share. Because I think everybody can be more than he thinks he is right now.
Thank you so much for watching the video. I'm going to link everybody's stuff down below so you can get more resources from them. But thank you to everybody who supported us at Mulliganbrothers.com. All the profits from the website go back into creating this content, from the journal, the t-shirts, the hoodies, but also the new Memento Mori poster go back into creating this content. We're also giving people 10% off using code STOIC of the new Memento Mori poster. The most powerful tool that I have used for success over this last year. It's a reminder that you are going to die. It's got these tiny little squares on there and you shade in the squares each week, and every single day that I come down to my fridge and I see this shaded in, it reminds me that one day I will die and I better use this precious time wisely. So yeah, if you want to see that, head to the link down below. If you want to come say hello on Instagram, it's at Jordan Mulliganbrother, at Mulliganbrothers. Let us know what you think of the content. Let us know who you want to hear us talk to next. Have a blessed and productive day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.